New Falls Count Anywhere of the Earnestly podcast. I'm your host, Ernest EJ Christian. I am in a very relaxed mood recording this Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. And Rob is laughing. He knows why. He knows exactly why he's laughing. Of course, we've got Rob the Genius, of course, our co host. He's also the 1/3 of the great Mindless Wrestling podcast and also the host of the, I guess, bi-weekly, you want to call it now, bi-weekly of 33 weeks, or whatever the hell you want to do it. Rob the Genius podcast. My man, Rob. What's going on, brother?
And not much, man.
So we got a simple show here today, man. This is a go home week, of course, because we are actually a few days away from the debut of the WrestlePalooza PLE, which we'll cover that in just a second. But before we start, we haven't had a chance to really react to this. We haven't really done the show in 2 weeks actually. But since we last recorded, we found out last week that WrestleMania 2027 or WrestleMania 43 rather will officially take place in Saudi Arabia. Now it's obviously a lot of mixed feelings and mixed reaction to the news. I've already spoken a lot about my opinion on this on the podcast from other episodes and stuff. My reaction still remains that capitalist country, do the hell you want. It's a weird look taking a major event like that off the U.S. soil. You already done bugged us for doing the whole like a bait and switch with New Orleans last for next year's WrestleMania and then last minute putting it back to Vegas again for the second year in a row because we know you make a lot of money in Vegas. Bad look. Now we got Saudi WrestleMania coming in a year and a half. Robbie, what's your reaction to all this? Because they're doing a lot of shit right now. They're signing deals with ESPN. They're signing deals with this, getting new networks and raising prices, and now this.
Okay, so I guess the announcement itself, I mean, it surprised me a little bit because I figured this was coming one day, but they're doing the Rumble there next year, so I figured maybe it'd be a little while before they actually did WrestleMania there. From what I understand, from little tidbits and stuff I've picked up here and there, just basically they always wanted to have a WrestleMania there. The Saudi royal family, or I guess the Saudi, whatever it is, does like the sports, organization or whatever. And because what they've been doing every time they go there, there's some, they've had to make it some like special theme to the show.
Yeah.
And that's because, the Saudi Sports Federation, they wanted WrestleMania, but, because they wanted something other than just a run-of-the-mill PLE. So, they wanted WrestleMania because they've always kind of advertised these shows as like, oh, this is a bigger deal as WrestleMania, right?
Except it's not. In fact, when this whole thing started out, I used to call these, bro, back in 2018, 2019, I would actually look at these shows as not even on the level of the regular PLEs. I look at the show as like an over-glorified house show that they're loaning guys because they know they want certain guys there to perform in front of that crowd. But they were not making it was not, the crown jewels in the world until probably late 2019, 2020. They were never consequential.
Well, because see what they would do every time though, they would have some type of wacky special match or something, right? Like the very first one they had the greatest Royal Rumble, and they had it was like a 50-man Royal Rumble basically, and then they also had a bunch of rematches from WrestleMania. Then later on that year, they had like this this greatest wrestler in the world tournament. And then in 2019, they had Goldberg versus The Undertaker. And then later on in the second show in 2019, they had this like kind of all-star 10-man tag team match. And, Hogan was the manager for one team and Ric Flair was the manager for the other one.
I remember that one, right? Yeah.
And then, and then they had another special tournament that The Undertaker won. And then, they had the finals of the King and Queen of the Ring tournament a few different times.
Yeah.
And then last year they did like the brand versus brand with the men's and women's titles. So yeah, I mean, like they always come up with some special matchup or some theme or something to make the show quote unquote special. Because I think they were trying, they were, I think WWE was trying to have their cake and eat it too. They wanted to get the big payday, but they didn't necessarily want to put WrestleMania over there. But then the Saudi people wanted WrestleMania, so I think this time they finally, basically, from what the reports, they could be getting paid as much as $200 million for the show, and that's dependent on from the reports. It's dependent on who they can get, and of course, like the biggest names reportedly that the Saudi Federation wants is of course Dwayne Johnson.
Of course, yeah.
Because look, there aren't that many guys left who aren't currently active who can come back and do a match there, right? I mean, there's him. I mean, Austin could tape himself up one more time, and do a match, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Taker's trying to work a match ever again. I think he'll come out there and chokeslam somebody. I think that's about all I think that's about all he wants to do right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are the only guys really who can, come out there and actually, could kind of duct tape themselves together and get through a match, right? I mean, because nobody else, because obviously Hunter can't do it. Sean's about to have double knee surgery, so you can count him out. So it's going to be a thing, and my guess is that Dwayne probably. I think he will come. I mean, he's going to him and Haw or whatever, or he's going to speak in cryptic language.
No, brother. He gonna fall in line. That money, that green, good.
Yeah, to get the company up the full $200 million payday, and I'm sure he'll get himself a nice $5 million payout or something for working that night. He'll be there. It's just, I think the question is,
in what capacity, right?
Well, no, he'll wrestle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he'll wrestle.
To secure a $200 million payday for the company, he'll get in the ring.
Yeah, maybe they finally pay off the Roman Rock story.
Well, I think it'll either be Roman Rock or Rock and Cody. It'll be one. It's gonna be one of the two.
Oh, the first time, right?
Yeah, I mean, either you finally do Roman and Rock, or you close the whole loop on the Cody final boss thing. I mean, one or the other. But trust me, if it's the difference in them securing a full $200 million payday, he'll suit up. He'll get in the ring.
Of course, without question. The WWE the last especially the last couple months, it feels like they've been busy. They've been busy. Making moves, and all the moves are controversial because they are moves that can, in a lot of ways, alienate fans, not feeling like they're part of anything. You had a quote recently, on CNBC from TKO president Mark Shapiro stating that basically, Vince McMahon used to what targeted the families and whatnot, and basically we are going beyond that, and basically that's code for y'all don't matter, but money number one, which again, your company, your job as a company is to make money, create revenue. I get that. I'm not against that. In fact, I support it. I'm a capitalist. But at what point, and we keep, every few weeks in the show, Rob, we always talk about this, like all these deals they make, whether it's a new streaming deal, whether it's moving WrestleMania, whether it's raising prices for this and that, and and moving this thing and the streaming service and all that. Now you have the Royal Rumble was announced to be in Saudi. I believe this year's Rumble in a couple months in Saudi.
Oh, yeah, 2026.
Right. So we already had that rolling a couple months ago. Now we have this situation now with WrestleMania 43 going to be in Saudi Arabia. At what point, as a wrestling fan, do you say, I'm good, I'm out? Because it seems like, and you and I think agree on this too, TKO clearly doesn't run this like a wrestling company. Like Vince McMahon called Hell and High Water. You may love or hate the guy. The guy ran a wrestling company. Even when they got big, even when they went public, Vince always kept one ear to the ground. The company always felt like a wrestling company. I feel like this company now, the way it is now, where it's going, it's less and less than that. And then at some point, that core audience is going to figure it out, and then they're going to price, as you say, they're going to price you out. And I know for me, they're already starting to price me out as is. In terms of going to shows, I'll tell you right now. But at what point do you start seeing the blowback, man? Because people, this is the thing I always tell folks. You get mad if you want. You're not entitled to have low prices. This is their company. It's not your company. You have to support it. You don't have to support it. But the only way you can really impact it, because a lot of folks, like, they get mad. They get mad about this deal and that deal. But you know what? Y'all still paying for the fucking tickets. Y'all still going by the merch. Y'all doing all this. The only way you can really speak up and make your voice be heard is talking with your dollars. Stop spending the money. At what point are we gonna get to, Rob, where you start seeing that switch?
It's one of those things like,
if we ever, for the record, ever get that happen, who knows?
Well, it's one of those. It's funny because it's one of those things where it's not a problem until it is.
Right.
And so, and it varies for different people. Like, look, I think for some people, this ESPN thing is going to be a bridge too far. And then also a lot of it is just dependent on, I mean, people tune in to see certain people. That's the other thing. Like when we've had down cycles before, they usually kind of, they don't directly line up with some big person like retiring, but it's in pretty close proximity.
Yeah.
Like, once, like after in '92, after WrestleMania 8, when Hogan was gone for like a whole year, right? Things started to really slide, right? Then when like Rock and Austin were both gone, that was like 2002. They both were within like, that was when Austin went home, but 2003, Austin retired, and a month later, Rock pretty much permanently went to Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
And we had another slide. And then when around 2017-ish, when Cena like took off, I mean, when he went away, more or less for good to Hollywood, other than the occasion when Cena stopped being a regular, which was around 2017, there was another drop off. It happens. So much of this right now is dependent on Roman Reigns being on the roster.
Yeah.
Cody being on the roster. CM Punk being there. Right? I mean, and Cena will be finished after this year. He'll be finished for good, according to him. So it's I mean, I think you're looking at possibly a combination of two things. It's a combination of these moves, slowly whittling people away. And then, when some of the big favorites start to move on, then it becomes a matter of, okay, am I going to devote all this time and attention to these people who I am not as invested in? Probably not.
Right.
So that's kind of what it is, right? I mean, and like, we don't know when that's going to happen, and we don't know if it, and look, maybe they take some corrective steps before the whole thing breaks. But if in a year or two they've had a big drop off, look, this is definitely the year where you can point to and say this is where the moves that were made that started to alienate people or started to push some people away. Because I mean these things are getting more and more expensive. SummerSlam is 2 nights now, and don't know if they're going to stick with that. They probably are going to stick with it because it did good business this year. So now SummerSlam is 2 nights, and they're taking the show overseas more and more, even for Raw and SmackDown, and they're looking to raise prices more because at the last
you got more breaking news now.
Well, no, because just it was last week. I think it was Shapiro, the guy who's
the head of TKO.
Yeah, and he's the one that said that Vince McMahon was pricing for families, and we need to make more money on tickets.
Yep, exactly what I said earlier. Yep.
So they're going to try to squeeze. They're going to try to raise prices even more.
Look, and guess what, Rob? Is they're right until they start seeing pushback. Look, y'all still pay for the tickets. So I mean, people get mad all you want, but if y'all can keep paying for this shit, they're gonna keep raising the prices. This is how it works. You keep squeezing and squeezing until you can't squeeze no more.
Yeah. No, I guess the thing is, what also bothers me is that they are. It still feels like they are fundamentally.
I think you froze.
Trying to.
You good.
They still seem to be heavily chasing that, trying to make it into a UFC or boxing kind of thing, and again, the audience it's not the same audiences, and
not at all.
And they're going to find out. I mean, because in fact they had a media call today, and they talked about because it's about the ESPN thing, and they talked about how much overlap there was with WWE fans and other sports.
Yeah.
And it's significantly higher for NFL and college football and whatnot. If you want to, if you're looking to cross over your audience, that's where you take it. I mean, they keep trying to, they keep this whole, this year has just been one big attempt to kind of mesh the UFC crowd in, and it's just, I got it in front of me now. It says, all right, ESPN shared this actually, according to their surveys or whatever. They said 84% of WWE fans are NFL fans.
Yeah.
73% are NBA fans, 72% are MLB fans, and 66% are college football fans. And Nick Khan has previously said that the overlap with UFC is 13%. And yet it seems like this year they have just made this hard push to, combine those two audiences, and it just, it's just not there. And look, Dana White even said today, I think, he wasn't a wrestling fan, right? And because look, if you people who want to see shoot fights aren't going to devote that much time and attention to seeing worked fights, and
right, exactly.
And we watch worked fights because we like the art form of them doing worked fights. And trust me, I've tried watching UFC, and
not a fan.
It just doesn't get me. I mean, I think I've said this before. Me and a couple of friends of mine, we watched the very early days of it when it was the Kumite, when there were no weight classes and you just did whatever. I mean, we watched some of those, but I mean, it's just I tried. It just doesn't do it for me, man. And I think
people would ask actually, how, you watch wrestling though, and you can see the fake fighting. Why can you do the real fighting? What do you say to that when people criticize you?
Well, I watch Star Wars movies. I don't watch fencing. I don't watch Olympic fencing. I watch lightsaber battles in a Star Wars movie. Right? I mean, you know, it is what it is, right? I mean, so.
My bad. Hold on.
Well, okay.
No, that's all right. No, you can keep talking. It's just
Yeah, but I
background.
mean, also, I mean, like UFC can be. I mean, for me, it's kind of boring.
Well, the
I
thing is too,
mean,
also like with wrestling, the connections is the stories. The problem is like UFC is just latest fighting. I mean, you can make up narratives here and there. If there's people if the two fighters have beef, you can make obviously you can feed off of that. But even that though, there's no stitching. There's no stitching stories for the months leading up to the fight. I think it's
and
different. It's like now if you like fighting for fighting, that's one thing. But like you and I, like I'm a fan of UFC. I'm not a hardcore fan. But yeah, if it's on, I'll watch it. I would know because I'm like a massive fan. But having said that, though, to me, I like wrestling because of the storytelling across the board. The wrestling is the result of it all, though. But I'm a fan of the storyline and storytelling and how they create whatever narrative they want to create.
yeah, it's just so to me, it's just they're not the same thing, and it's look, I think, and also like just the UFC atmosphere is just it's not a family friendly atmosphere.
No,
Um,
no, I definitely we agree with that part too, especially it's not family friendly. You know what I mean? Very violent, and either you're in or you're out. And I know there's certain crowds there that I'll turn off too. Also, not to get into that, but this is the reality. You know, I didn't say me necessarily, but people feel that way. So anyway,
yeah.
speaking, yeah.
So I mean, it
Go
just
ahead. Go ahead.
um, again, it's not a problem until it is, and
Yeah.
look, guess what? Look, if we can all if we all collectively as an audience, if we all decide that that the ESPN thing is fine, and if enough people are willing, if people who don't have it are willing to pay, and those of us, then ultimately we'll be fine. Um, but if not, then it's. I mean, and it'll be a slow kind of drip, 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 but it'll
It will.
eventually happen.
It will happen. Yeah.
And then again, I think what'll really do it is I think they are going to lose some people with this ESPN thing, at least in the short run,
Yeah.
because that $30 is sticker shock, and so but over time, it's just as you lose, people will kind of slowly start losing their enthusiasm for it because and then again when your favorite people start walking away, then it becomes okay. Am I going to invest all this for this next group of people? And it once when one generation retires, moves on, or whatever, it takes a little while for it takes at least a year or two, or maybe longer, for like the next one to really ingratiate themselves with the audience to where you really or dive in with both feet with those people. And if we're looking at a situation where just the price is too high to get in now, or the time commitment is too much, because that's another thing right now. I mean, they got so many different products now going on, so many different types of shows going on now you have to. I mean, the time commitment, it can be overwhelming if you're going to try to watch all of it.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt about that.
So we'll see. I think ultimately, they're going to start pricing some people out. Some people will start losing interest because they can't go to shows anymore. Um, and as we've seen this year, I mean, there's been a lot of chatter, at least in the IWC, about the overall quality of things this year not being as good. I mean, I guess to me, like, you know, I'm a big YouTube fan. They have one album they did was Pop. It was called Pop. It came out like 1996, and like it was. There were a few good songs, but a lot of it felt like it was half finished, right? And they later on, the guys in the band later on admitted that, well, we booked the tour before we finished the album. Okay.
Yeah.
And this year kind of feels like in WWE, like they booked the tour before they finished the album.
Yeah.
To me, that's a good description of it. Like they've been more, it feels like they've been more focused on, new dates and new deals and less on, the actual product, right?
Yeah, that's definitely the case.
And I think, and look, there's been plenty, there's been some good stuff going on this year, but I think definitely like it feels like it feels a bit unfocused. And if that continues on into next year and the year after that,
there'll be some wear and tear for that. Yep.
There'll be some of that.
They're doing the flood in the zone, all this stuff, man. Oh, it's like so many big announcements that they've done in the last like 3-4 months alone. That it's overwhelming. If you're a wrestling WWE diehard, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, and it is. It's a lot. It's so much. And again, it's easy to get burned out unless you just start picking and choosing. Like, okay, I will watch this. I'm not going to watch that.
Yep, what we do. I don't watch. You think I watch Raw SmackDown every week? No, I watch the recaps on YouTube, but that's about it. I don't watch. I can't. The only shows I dedicate, the entire telecast to is the PLEs. That's it.
Because for me, like, okay, I have Raw on every Monday. But SmackDown,
by manager's background noise on Monday.
Yeah, I mean a lot of it is. And then SmackDown now is really just it's okay. Who's going to be on tonight? What are they doing? And I still I watch the PLEs still, but yeah, I mean it is I am at a point now where I'm picking and choosing, and it's a lot, and it really and so at some point, like somebody there needs to be a little more forward thinking and say, okay, we need to trim our sails a little bit here. But the other thing is that in the kind of the TKO apparatus, the other half of TKO Endeavor, which owns UFC, they were and are in like a big pile of debt. So their finances were not great. And so they're kind of using WWE to help pay off pay down some of their debt also.
Yeah, they are.
And that's a whole other part of this. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I would say, for now, I mean, for the next few years, they have these media deals locked in. So, they're kind of in, cash intake or whatever is pretty, it's pretty secure for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So it'll be a matter of like when we look at like 3 or 4 years out, right? When some of these media deals start to expire, and then they'll be expiring around the time that you get people like Roman and Cody. We'll be looking at stepping away for good.
Yeah.
And then again, there's going to be a real kind of situation where rubber meeting the road. Because if they all start to step away at the same time, if there's still some overall dissatisfaction with either the business side of it or the product itself around the same time that Roman and Cody and Seth Rollins and and start to move away, then yeah, I mean you could potentially have a kind of a crisis situation hit here.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll know at some point. And like this,
Yeah, oh yeah.
the rubber will meet the road at some point. So we'll figure it out. All right, it is time. We're here for the main event. We're gonna preview and predict WrestlePalooza, which will take place. Actually, I'm here talking crap. And where is it at? Hold on, give me 1 second.
It's in Indiana.
It's in Indiana.
Yeah.
But it's in Indiana. I know that. There it is. Let's do that. All right, that's cool. All right, I like to do this like properly. Definitely Indianapolis, Indiana, at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It is the first of the debut of ESPN or WWE on ESPN, so it is a big deal. Obviously, it was moved up. The deal was met and signed for 2026, and they moved up the entire start of the deal to September. So here we go. Five matches here. 5-match card. Not sure. You think they'll add a six match, Matt? Rob, what do you think?
Well, they got Friday to do it. I don't know what it would be. They might. Well, I won't rule it out, but they got, if they do, they'll do it on Friday if they do.
Yeah. All right. First match here will be for the vacant Women's World Championship, and it's between Io Sky and Stephanie Valkyrie. I don't know. I kind of think that they might be ready to put it on Valkyrie. I can't see them doing Io Sky again. They already tried it. I'm not saying not saying it didn't go well, but the way they wrote the stuff, they wrote the story with her and Rhea and Bianca, it felt, other than the matches, it fell flat on its face. I think maybe they learned there too that Io isn't the greatest champion to have. Certainly a great hand, but not the greatest champion. I think they'll take a chance to Stephanie back here. Leave Stephanie here.
I think so too, because I think we have this ongoing kind of thing with bubbling up between Io and Asuka and Kairi Sane, and so I think that story might best be served by Io not winning.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the time. It's September, so this is the time to take a flyer on somebody like Stephanie and see how it goes.
Yeah, you think that you'll do here too?
Yeah, no, I think another. Yeah, I think so, because I think if this is the time to try it, right? Because it's September, and if it doesn't go well, you can, you just got to get it off of her before, WrestleMania season,
Right. All right, we have a tag match between the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, versus the Vision of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Not that it actually ever broke up. Unofficial word away, but the Usos. Are we? Do you think we're going back to that now? Back to the Usos being a consistent tag team, or is this a one and only type of thing? You believe?
Well, I think it's going to lead to them being one. So I think, it's, I think, there's going to be there's already some kind of dissension being planted. So I think they're going to have a bumpy road for a few months, but I think ultimately it will lead to them being back together. Because I think when it comes time for WrestleMania, it's going to be them versus Braun and Braun probably for the tag team titles, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to go on a bit of a road to get there, though. So I think Braun and Braun win this time because they lost at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So they got to win something. We're at a point where it's at one of those points where I always say, like, okay, well, they got to win something here.
And I feel like if they lose, they get hurt a little bit.
Oh yeah, if they lose here, then it is a credibility hit, definitely.
Yeah. Because then it feels like you're just like, okay, now you'll be looked at as like, oh well, I mean they're good, but can't win the match when it matters. It's part of the story. So yeah, give me a vision to win this one too. All right, we have the mixed tag match between CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Your favorite male female tag team ever.
Um, I mean, Punk and AJ got to win. God, you can't have AJ come back after 10 years and then lose first time
I
out.
agree.
I mean,
By the way, Rob. Not to be picky here, but I didn't love the AJ reveal 2 weeks ago. Like, and not because of her, but the whole thing with her and Becky, like Becky fearing her, like, wait, you're Becky Lynch, number one. Number two, you're fearing a barely 5 foot tall, older woman. Not saying she's old, but has wrestled in over 10 years, and you're like in the corner, like you treat like she's the Undertaker or something. I mean, I don't get it. That whole they dropped the ball there. Honestly, like I get they want to do the reveal and they want to make it great and the whole nine, but I thought the whole Becky part of that was really bad. Honestly,
I was 50-50. I mean, put it this way, I mean, the crowd ate it up. So you gotta, I mean, but yeah, I mean, it did look kind of funny. I mean, given that, I mean, Becky has fought bigger people. I mean, Becky's
yeah,
fought Charlotte.
exactly.
She's fought Charlotte. She's fought Bianca. She's fought Asuka. She's fought Rhea Ripley. So yeah, her being afraid of AJ Lee is yeah, I can see where that might be a little unrealistic. Um,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but I'm with you. I think Punk and AJ wins here.
they got to because I mean, you can't have her come back after 10 years and just lose.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All
And
right,
yeah,
but yep. Now the match I'm looking forward to the most the entire show: Cody Rhodes against Drew McIntyre. I texted you and our boy DJ, I think 2 days ago, and I said to you guys, sign me up for another Drew McIntyre World Championship reign. Now, look, I'm not saying it's going to happen on Saturday, although I wouldn't mind it for personal reasons, though. But yeah, give me a Drew McIntyre title run, man. Having said that, no chance they put the ticket off Cody just yet. Give me Cody.
oh man. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they're bold enough to do a title change. I just don't not here. It would be a bold move. I would welcome it because
Me too.
well, one, like right now the way SmackDown is made up, like Cody doesn't have any other heels really to fight. So having a heel champion, because if Drew is champ, then you got Cody to try and win it back from him. You got Randy, you got Damian Priest. Like you got some guys he can go against for the next few months. Whereas I mean, with Cody, like just there's nobody left. I mean, because look, I just to me, yeah, I mean, I would if you want to shake things up again. It's September. This is the time. This is the time to do that, right?
Take chances, right? Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, this to me, this would be a perfect time to have Drew win this thing, and then again, he's got challengers. He has challengers there. There are people who can challenge him. Again, Cody trying to win it back. Randy, Priest, LA Knight could come back over to challenge him. Sami Zayn is there to challenge him. So like you have guys there. So for me, I mean, I think it would make for more interesting television for the rest of the year to have Drew and to put the belt on Drew.
Yeah.
Personally, that's what I think. I don't think they will because again, and then this is one of the things that you can criticize Hunter for the whole, like I call it, booking to the calendar. But so I think Cody's going to keep the title. He may not win the match. He may, it might be some like DQ or something, but I don't think Cody's going to lose the belt here.
I'm not asking for Attitude Era booking, but a shocking title switch Wouldn't hurt anybody. Once in the blue moon.
Yeah.
I'm not asking. Look, Rob. I'm not asking hot potato every like it was back in 1998 and 99 with the titles. But sticking to the calendar is not really something I also want either. I want something to keep me informed, to keep me reason to come back every week to watch your product. And I don't when I sit there and say Cody's going to win, I don't want that to happen. I think that's what they're going to do. But I think Drew should win it tonight, on Saturday night, rather, because it is more compelling for the story. And I think Drew McIntyre, for what it's worth, is actually still one of the most compelling characters on that damn TV show. I think him holding his house as a heel, especially too, would be pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, and because Cody was getting to the point. I wouldn't say he hadn't gotten stale yet earlier this year, but he, I think, look, if it's by some chance he had won at WrestleMania, I think he would have gotten stale after that. And now I think you got to manage that now with him. So
yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, because, and especially now, like, again, it's September. Like, you don't want to, for lack of a better word, like, you don't want to waste 3 months because you don't want to get closer to him being stale by wasting 3 months.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
By wasting the last 3 months of the year with him just kind of sitting on the belt, which is what it would be. I think, yeah. So to me, I think Drew should win. Right. But I don't think he will. But I think he should. And if they don't do it here, then they should do it sometime soon.
Yeah. All right. Last match here. This is probably the main event of the whole show.
Yeah, they already said it will be. Yeah.
Yeah. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. This is gonna be Lesnar's first match back since SummerSlam. Meanwhile, John Cena, I think we have now 5 more to go, 5 more appearances to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, this is going fast, bro. Obviously, these guys are rivals. I don't think this is a one-off. I don't think this is like a one quick little send-off match for Cena and Lesnar. I think this can go another month or two. It doesn't need to be on Raw and that. You can put it in Saudi Arabia for the next Saudi Arabia show or whatever. To be honest with you, I got Brock winning this match. Honestly, I have no good reason to pick Cena here on the spot. If Cena was champion, well, first off, he was champion. They wouldn't be going this route anyway.
Yeah,
because Cena could lose a high-profile spot and not get hurt a bit, and he's been that way for his entire career. I think I got Lesnar this one.
Okay, so and I'm assuming he's doing all the PLEs the rest of the year.
Cena. Well, yeah. If we're doing the math, do you see appearing on any SmackDowns right now in December?
Well, I think he's done on SmackDown. So from here for the rest of the year, he's just doing Raw.
All right. Okay.
So
do you see doing one more Raw at least between now and December?
Probably. Okay. He'll probably do a couple.
So you got 3 PLAs left. You got this one. You got Crown Jewel.
Yeah, like Crown Jewel's in Australia this year, not in Saudi Arabia.
Australia. I apologize. I'm so used to being in Australia. Saudi Arabia. And then you have Survivor Series.
Yeah, his last match, I believe, is going to be on a Saturday night's main event.
Right. Now,
and that's in December. So,
are you comfortable saying that Cena's definitely going to Survivor Series this year?
Want to say it again?
Are you comfortable saying that Cena will be a Survivor Series this year?
Probably.
Okay, that's one away. So now you got 2, 3 more places to appear at.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. So 1 Raw, Survivor Series, maybe Crown Jewel, and then 2 Raws then. 2 Raws and then Crown Jewel and Survivor Series.
Well, okay, so I guess the question is who are the last few opponents, right?
Potentially.
Because how many opponents do they have left for him? Because
so we exhausted Orton already this year. We exhausted Lesnar now. So I'm looking I mean, there are guys obviously they're in the company still. I would say go ahead and do it, like Edge, for example. But Edge is not there; he's in AEW.
Right.
Is there any other like opponent left for him to look at to do a quick like 2-week feud?
Well, okay, so and I agree they could get 2 matches out of him with Lesnar. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if they do get 2 matches out of him and Lesnar, then well, he's already he's gone with Cody twice already, so that's done.
Yeah.
You
did Orton already. You don't need to go to Orton again.
Yeah.
Edge is not in the company anymore. Who else do you feel with in
well,
the
I think Punk was occupied, and they already had their match.
Yeah.
Well, there's
still Rock. I'm thinking desire for the Rock and Cena to meet.
No, that's not going to happen between now and the end of the year.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense either.
You could get, you get with him and Roman again if they want to, maybe.
Yeah, but no, we have not road ready.
Probably not.
No need to put any waste of heat on any of these guys. They're going out the way it should.
Yeah, if Gunther comes back before the end of the year, then
I'll be honest with you. I think this is it. I think Lesnar's it. I think it's this Lesnar, and then there's a send off. That's it. I mean, he's
going to have some more matches. He's working the other PLEs.
Yeah, but you can squeeze 2 matches out of Lesnar. You can get involved in the Survivor Series team if necessary. Team Lesnar against Team Cena. Correct itself, right? You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't see. I don't know. There's enough space for another big feud between now and December with 5 appearances left on the docket.
Yeah, well, I guess
I don't see that.
Well, I guess you know what? I think it might be just a matter of like who does he want to face,
right? And this at this point, Lesnar, it represents the other guy in that era from the era that made a big impact, in the business. Obviously you had the big 4 of Cena, Orton, Batista, and Lesnar.
Yeah,
Lesnar was the guy, and in fact, Lesnar had Lesnar not retired in 2004. Not to say John Cena never would have been John Cena, but maybe we don't see John Cena for another like year or 2 after.
Yeah. Now he may look. I think he could run it back with AJ Styles. I could see that being a match that he wants to do. Because they had some really good back in 2016.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see any more random. I don't see any more wasted things here with Lesnar and Cena. I just see it as okay. We're going to take this and we're going to stretch this with 5 more to go. Lesnar, you can squeeze at least 2-3 matches out of Lesnar.
Well, I think you're not going to get more. I think they're only going to not going to do more than 2.
Well, you have 2 solos, and I think you have 1 Survivor Series. That's it.
I don't think they're going to take it that far. I think if it doesn't end, if it's not a one-off, then they'll do 2. But I think that's it. And look, I think we're at the point. It's going to be like, remember when Magic? I don't know if you were watching, how old you were back then, but when Magic came back for that last All-Star game.
What, 92?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the game live, man.
Yeah, and so remember how in the final minutes, like, okay,
Isaiah Gardner,
everybody just kind of stepped up to him, like Isaiah Thomas stepped up to him, and then a few minutes later, Mike stepped up to him.
Yep, that was fun.
I think the last couple of months just might be that. So he'll do AJ one, he'll have a match with AJ, and then if Kevin Owens was healthy, they would definitely go again. But Kevin's not. He's not able to go. I don't know if he's had surgery yet or not, but if he was available, they would definitely do that again. And there are other guys. I think the last few months are just going to be guys, that he's done something with in the past, stepping back up to go one more round. Rusev. I can see him and Rusev going one more round. And then again, he's going to be on Raw. So AJ is on Raw, Rusev is on Raw. So those are 2 matches they could get in.
Doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter because they will if they want to cross brands, they will cross brand and make it work because they
but I guess
they are.
I mean they made it a point. I mean, they made it a point to move him that he's on Raw now, though. So
right.
It would make sense to just have him deal with people who are already there, and not
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I'm taking Lesnar in this one. Who are you taking?
I think this is going to be. I think since it's the main event, I think Cena's going to win. I think.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I honestly think they're only going to do. I think they're just going to do this one. Brock. I think this is going to be one off.
Oh wow, okay.
I really do. I mean, I think, and they're going to move on because, and then they're going to move on. Like I said, he's going to get AJ. He's going to get Rusev. Maybe Gunther if Gunther's ready to come back. LA Knight is over there now, so they could do one. I mean, so I think there are 3 or 4 guys over on Raw for him to have matches with.
Fair point.
Look, they might do him and Jay because he and Jay were the last 2 guys in the Rumble. I mean,
No. That's a fair point, man. I don't know. I see your argument of thinking that the stuff with Lesnar might be a part-time thing, a quick little one-off and done. I don't know, man. I just think there's so much history together, those two. I think those guys are the guys that of their era, who brought these last 25 years, the 2 of the biggest names of the last 25 years. But we'll see. Maybe there's a story to be told in somewhere in there. Maybe there is. I don't know. So anyway, Rob, I promise it'll be a shorter show. Only went longer than I thought. No big deal though. What's going on with the Master Podcast? What's going on with Robert Genius? What's going on with you recording these days?
Well, I published an episode this morning.
Okay.
I did, and so I spent the whole time talking about my kind of trying to figure out who the greatest NBA player of all time was.
Oh.
And I came up.
As far as I didn't get a phone call in that conversation.
Oh well, I mean, because I didn't reveal who, because I haven't really decided yet. But I just talked about my methodology.
Are you doing your numbers? Your little.
Yeah, I'm of course. I came up with a wacky point system. Yes,
of course.
But I included how many championships you won, how many times you got to the finals, how many times you led the league in something, how many times you were all NBA. So I got a combination of how many times were you MVP. And I can tell you who my top 6 are right now.
Okay.
I haven't determined the final order yet, but
wait. Did you already reveal it on the show? No.
Yes, I did. I talked about.
Don't tell me. I want to listen to it. Don't tell me.
Okay.
So I want surprise. That way I can react in real time and I can cuss you out when I realize you're wrong.
and I even I applied my little formula. I tried applying it to the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
But there's it was funny because Cynthia Cooper kind of throw a monkey wrench in the works because she only played 4 full seasons, but she won the championship every year.
Damn.
And and she hit a bunch of other marks. So she had a short, because she was older when the league started.
Right.
Like she was well into her 30s when the league started.
95, right? 95 started?
Yeah, I think the league started in 95, 96. And she was already in her mid 30s. And so she didn't have, she just didn't have that much longer to play. But she played 4 full seasons and they won the championship every year.
That's crazy, man. That's a crazy stat. And I feel like I knew that. I just forgot. Maybe until the early stages of the WNBA, I wasn't watching it. So
yeah, because look, if you're going to talk about short pro careers,
short but effective.
Yeah, if you're talking about short, greatest brief pro sports careers, not just basketball,
right?
Then, I mean, she's right there. I mean, she might be it. I mean, she played 4 full seasons, and she came back after a couple of years and played a few games. But she played 4 full seasons and won the championship every year. And I think she was either MVP or Finals MVP a couple of times during that span, also.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to, but so it's kind of hard to pick her versus like Diana Taurasi, who played for like 20 years. Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So this episode is all about basketball, basically.
All right. And of course, I am on X at EJChristian7. Follow us anywhere, of course, part of the Earnestly podcast. You can follow the show, of course, download the podcast on any podcast catcher on Apple Music, Spotify, Stitcher Radio. Well, not Stitcher Radio anymore, not in business. Google Podcasts, as well as the audio side, the video side rather. Earnest Speak Pod on YouTube, especially. Subscribe, please, as well as clips of the show on TikTok and on Instagram at both Earnest Speak Pod. Until next episode, enjoy WrestlePalooza this coming Saturday on ESPN. And until next one, see you.